Oh yeah.
I don't know. Think about this. All right, y'all. We got Killers of the Flower Moon. Moonflower. What is it? No, no, I forget. What's the name of this?
I thought it froze. Yeah, Killer of the Flower Moon.
Killers of the Flower. 3.5 hour with 3 hours too long of a movie. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me. It was directed well, acted well.
Oh yeah.
It was just too long. It just gotta cut. Listen here. In this day and age, cut this mess down to an hour and a half, hour 45.
Right.
Was mad. I don't even take 2 hours. I'll take 2 hours. 3.5. Okay, let's get down to it. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about the movie. Moreover, I want to talk about the underlying narrative tones of what it was trying to convey.
Yeah.
It did a sort of way of trying to. I mean, Scorsese, and I might be mispronouncing this, but he directed it in such a fashion where he tried to still make it more like it was almost like a gangster type movie.
Yeah, like some mafia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mafia thing. So I can get that premise. That's kind of what he's really well known for. But I think your boy, like I said, Leonardo did good. Robert Niro, they did really well. They did really well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Actress with what was the wife name? Mandy.
Molly, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, she played Molly really well.
Yeah.
But I think the underlying tone was it really kind of highlighted you caught the subtleness about it. Is how they try to deal subtly with the Indian tribe, the Osage tribe.
Yeah.
It was good that their, I guess, leader of that time had realized what black gold was. He understood what oil was. He knew it was valuable to them. But I think when I look at what makes me kind of see the irony of it is that since they couldn't like outwit him, they went about it in a way where they wanted to marry and then basically kill off.
Right.
They could kind of inherit the land. It was like so deceptive. And even so to the point where it seemed like they couldn't even really get their money out the bank, even the bank into, being in. It was so much deception, but in a way of how you would see a colonizer do it.
Yeah.
That how they was like, and you always hear this out, especially throughout the American history of dealing with the colonizers. Now I just keep calling them it how it is. How they suddenly take things, and I even see it in this currency in terms of they were talking about in regards to I forgot what it was, Louisiana, I think, or Florida, but it was taken out of the land
Yeah.
from black people who had got their land. They would just basically go in, especially if it was a multi-family heritage. They would go in the land from one person, then put it up in for sale in a tax. They put it for sale. All they had to do was put it in a newspaper. But since they know that most people don't do a newspaper nowadays, they was under
Right.
people doing it, going to court, being on without the families knowing, and then say, "Oh well, that's a law." And so they still doing things underhanded.
Mm-hmm.
And so then
Yeah.
one thing I'm gonna call it that might be like controversial, but this is another tactic to colonize is how they'll try to assimilate or breed a certain race into their group. And that's what it's like they was trying to do. They was
Yeah.
which it makes me like you understand because Molly, which I think it happens a whole lot more. Like I said, from the colonizers, like I said, because they just come in, breed out, and then you become one with the colonizers.
Yeah.
But and especially the same thing from Catholicism, religion, you always see it. But in this, I was like kind of dismayed because I'm like, that they was already killing like some of these, especially Indian women, having kids and killing them, and you still married.
I,
I was like,
I don't know. I don't know.
And I'm always thinking like you would have did better, like marrying, keeping this money within, the oil within. But I mean, it didn't take a genius to really see that way. They married us, and then now all of a sudden, like I said, especially from the women's side, because all the women,
Yeah.
the Indian men wasn't. All of the
Yeah.
women was marrying the colonizers. So basically, just handing them the thing. I hope in the hope of a better life, or now with the colonizers, so it makes me seem better in terms of status. However it may be,
Right.
I don't know, but that's
Right.
still a normal tactic you see in every race that the colonizers and took out, they breed out or they kill out all the things because they was killing out all the Indian men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outright killing them. and then marrying all the women, and then they just. So I think at the end, I love her stoicism. How she knew, like I said, because he, like she killed her family. I mean, he had a hand in killing her sister, and a hand in killing all her family members, her own people. And then, she said at the end when he confessing that he had a hand in all this from his father, because, like I said, the ultimate goal was for them to, like I said, marry, kill out, and inherit it for themselves. And that's how they took the money from this oil into the colonizer families. And so at the end, when he had to confess all this, I think I love her stoicism at the end when the FBI agent took her into the room with him, and she was like, "What were you giving me in that drink?" And then he was like, "Oh, insulin." And
just insulin.
She just got up and walked. She knew. She at that point she knew. I could say her not trusting the doctor, didn't want to get him, but they still your own husband. It's like kill my sister. Like I mean, and nothing. Leonardo, he played the part.
Oh yeah, no, he just
But it really shows you when you really sit back and say they've done this same playbook with every race, everything they colonized over and over and over and over again. And this, like I said, you had, like I said, these Indian women who was marrying these white men or the colonizers, and then being set up and not able to see and say, hey, like, this is what happened. And so I love her stoicism.
Stoicism, yeah.
Well, she just like stoic. She just like kind of accepted, like, I put myself in this situation. Like I married the enemy. I slept with the snake. And
like you said, it was so cool. Like you could feel her emotions without her really saying too much, and that's why I think she did great with it. Because like you said, it wasn't a place of like hurt or anger. Like you said, it was more so like I should have known better. That's it.
That's what you really get out of from. And like I said, you do have pity for you feel the empathy. But I think moreover, like you said, you can imagine your spouse. I mean, even if it's just to that degree.
Yeah.
I mean, because basically, she was really close to her sister, really close.
Oh yeah.
This is a spoiler.
Yeah.
And they blew up the house. Because then they tried to show also, like I said, the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre. What they did on the Black Wall Street. They showed that. And so they tried to just imitate it in blowing up this house.
Yeah.
It's sad because it was her sister, and like I said, I guess the guy she had met, and they blew up the whole house, just killed everyone. And I think, like I said, but I think that was to me her most iconic part when he, went to the door, he looked down and she wailed, like the grief that her
yeah.
And she wailed. I'm like, even as anybody to know, because that wail was like that. She was close to her. It hurt her soul.
You could feel the love in that cry.
And like I said, she had just got to talking to her, holding her hand, talking, and it just, and that was, I think, like I said, her last family member. And it was taken from her, and then so if you want to go look, as I told you, you probably can go to the last maybe 15-20 minutes. It kind of summarizes up as they was trying to reenact it real quick and what happened and the outcome for pretty much, like I said, his uncle got arrested and served life. I think he served a huge life, but I think he said he died in a elderly home. She died at 50. But it's just
diabetes.
Once again, but yeah, she got buried next to her door. So it was just like very truthful. It was still very truthful. But a lot of people are not going to call out these underlying subtleness of how they was trying to manipulate and deceive. And I think that's what a lot of people call, it's a great. No, that's what it was really trying to show you. They were trying to show you how manipulative and deceiving the colonizers were. All of the tactics and the playbooks that they used. And so that was it. So is it worthwhile? I skipped through it. I just 3.5
hours.
I think it's a great movie if you want to, but I mean, I think the popcorn pop it did have some reality, some truth to it that you really did see, which was really great.
Visually pleasing, very visually pleasing. It was a lot of moments. It was like you felt like you were there, So yeah, I give it that.
Like I said, I said the popcorn was popping. It was just the thing that took away was just too long. That's what took away from it. It just like
it was a
lot of things that just showing. Give me the cliff notes. I'm going to say the movie should have really truly been to me 2 hours.
Yeah.
Put 2 hours, that would have been it. So
because it's kind of obvious what the storyline was, so it wasn't really a reason to drag it out for 3 hours. I know it's so many details stuff you want to get, but I mean, the main focal point was pretty much the main focus. Like you said, oh yeah, we're spoiling, right?
Yeah, we're in the spoiler. We're in the down and
Yeah.
dirty.
Okay. But yeah, like the whole basis is Leonardo DiCaprio, is he gonna take the fall for his uncle type thing? Like you said, it was just a lot of like parts in there that could have just been kind of cut. You know what I'm saying? So for 3 hours, I get y'all wanted every little detail, but like some stuff would have been cool for the interpretation. You know. But if it was like 2 hours, I think yeah, it would have been fine.
I don't think popcorn. I think it was popcorn. Just like you said, the only reason I get with popcorn because you're definitely gonna get hungry watching the movie in three.
Get your snacks.
Yeah, you get the popcorn. It wasn't the butter. It was just it was it was almost, and I had to give it to him on this point. A lot of people call it like a documentary. It really was a realism to it, just to see.
Yeah.
It leaves a sour taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
The reality of how the colonizers did things. That's just like, oh, dude, that's just no. And but they really captured it. And I had to give it to you, my boy,
Yeah.
like I said, Leonardo Steele and Robert, and they really captured that from that
Oh
perspective.
yeah.
It's a real show that a lot of people probably wouldn't want to see because it kind of shows that realism of what really happened. And a lot of people like to try to turn their head like, oh no, it's not us, we didn't. But it really did show. Even in terms of the Trail of Tears and stuff, you've seen the horrific things that
Oh
to a lot of
yeah.
the tribes. And with this one, it was just basically saying that where that didn't apply, they showed what they did to manipulation. That even though this Osage tribe leader knew what they had, what was value, and they still over time
Yeah.
manipulated and angle to take it, even from deception and killing and deceit. They still did it, and so
Yeah. Like remember the other guy in the film, he had like he left his wife for the widow and then killed her and then talk about some so if I get the kids and I was like, they just laid it out right there how they do it.
the guy said, "Wait, let me. I think I'm hearing what you said. You want to adopt a kid so you can kill them. It sounds like you're confessing that you're going to adopt a kid to kill them. Well, that seems like the kind of path if I kill them and don't get your land. Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Wow,
When I
and it
tell
was like, wow.
that was just a keynote, but there's a lot of moments where
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
And they
that's
didn't.
the reality.
It wasn't like, oh, they didn't know what they knew what they were doing. They knew.
Hmm. Talking about some, oh, she got kids. Well, like, what if I kill them? Like, are you saying you're trying to kill the kids? I mean, if I don't get anything, no.
I was like, what? You blatantly like? Are you blatantly serious?
He was like this. He was so serious. I was like, okay, but it showed you just like you said, just how like corrupt and greedy the whole situation was with it. You know what I'm saying? It was like we just want the money. Like,
So for a lot of this, you see that's how come all of these. Everybody's talking about a lot of the natural color of the Native Americans that now you see in a lot of these pale skinned colonizers. Saying, well, I'm 115. I mean, but then it's like, are you proud to say that when we can see how that came about?
yeah, yeah.
I like to say I'm taking on the different various true Native American tribe members who got their reservation, which I still think that's just But at least like I understand from their perspective of understanding and holding on to truly the true history and understanding and why
Yeah.
they celebrate Thanksgiving, why you really understand all of why it is and why do we do it because there's so much hidden agenda under it. And so like I said, but we're going along. I just say it's just worth the popcorn because it's 3.5 hours long and you're gonna need something. You're gonna get hungry halfway through it. So, okay, Nene, that's all we got. Take us away.
Remember, everyone, to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll keep you updated on the latest and upcoming films. And we're here to give you real reels for the real. Boom.
All right. So until next time, my peeps, keep the popcorn popping.
Pop, 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 pop.